David hadn't eaten a hot meal in 3 days. The smell of the chicken and rice was like a fragrance from heaven. He hesitated, then took the container with shaking hands. The man in the red hoodie nodded and said, "God bless you, man." Before walking away, David sat there in silence, staring down at the food. Something inside him stirred. Not hunger, not despair, but something deeper. Maybe it was the fact that someone saw him, not as a failure, not as a beggar, but as a person. That night, he slept without drinking, without taking the pills, for the first time in months. The next morning, David woke to a noise he hadn't heard in a long time. Singing, down the block, beneath an overpass, stood a small man with a megaphone, Bible in hand, preaching the word. "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil," the preacher shouted, waving Psalm 23 like a battle cry. David scoffed. If God's walking with me, he must be asleep. But he kept listening. The preacher's words cut through the fog in David's mind. You may have fallen. You may be forgotten by man, but not by God. He still knows your name, and he's not finished with you yet. David turned away, angry, but he came back the next day, and the next. Something about the word. It was like medicine to a dying soul. A week later, while rummaging through a trash bin behind a thrift shop, David found something wedged between two torn coats. A Bible, tattered, missing a few pages, but unmistakably the Word of God. He opened it. The first passage his eyes landed on was Psalm 34, verse 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. He fell to his knees. Right there in that alley, David prayed, not with polished words or rehearsed prayers, but with groans too deep for words. For the first time in years, he confessed every sin, every lie, every betrayal, and he wept. The next day, David stumbled into a church with a cracked bell tower and a crooked cross. The door was open. Inside, a janitor swept the floor. The man looked up, startled. "Can I help you?" David held up the Bible. I need help. I want to change." The janitor, an older man named Mr. Raymond, smiled. "Son, you came to the right place." Raymond took him to the pastor, a gentle man who offered David a hot shower, clean clothes, and a place to stay for a week. But he offered more than that. He offered him discipleship. "God's not interested in cleaning the outside of your life," the pastor said. "He wants the inside, your heart." Even as David tried to walk the new path, his past clung to him like a shadow. Memories of his daughter's tears, his wife's broken voice, the betrayal, the pride, the greed. One night, he opened his Bible and cried, "God, I can't forgive myself." "How can you?" And then he read Romans 5, verse 8. "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us." David didn't need to earn forgiveness. It had already been bought with blood. That night, he forgave himself. Not because he deserved it, but because Christ had already paid for it. Days turned into weeks. David volunteered at the church. He swept floors, handed out food, and read the Bible daily. He applied for jobs. Many turned him down because of his record, but one local diner gave him a shot as a dishwasher. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. More importantly, it was a new beginning. He started saving, attended Bible study, shared his story with others. And then, one night, something powerful happened. A woman approached him after service. "You don't remember me, do you?" He blinked. "I'm the wife of the man who mugged you last year. You forgave him. You prayed for him. He's in rehab now. You saved his life." David stood in awe. He had no idea, but God did. The wilderness was harsh, but it shaped him. David was no longer the man he used to be. He was something new, and God was just getting started